Hey, what's up everyone, Thunderbob here, and tonight I am checking out some more Diablo 2 Resurrected. What I want to do here is start a new character. I'm going to play as a sorceress and try to get through Act 1 and 2 and just kind of give some tips for starting a new character along the way, ways to accelerate and get into Nightmare and Hell difficulty. I obviously am limited to Act 1 and 2, so this won't be a full playthrough, but I'll see what I can provide.
Good day.
Now, the first thing I want to talk about is your skills. Okay, so you want to think about your build ahead of time. You don't want to be leveling up and trying to figure out where to put your skill and stat points. So you have an idea of where your end goal is and also what you're doing while you're leveling up. Probably the most popular build is a Charged Bolt build. You start with Charged Bolt, you level up Nova, and then you use your Den of Evil reset when you hit 30. I'm going to try something a little different. My end goal is a Meteor build, and I think I'm going to try Fireball as I'm leveling up. So it'd be like probably starting with 5 points in Firebolt, grab Warmth, Frozen Armor, keep grabbing the Pro-Exits as I go, and then when I hit level 12, Fireball, and pump Fireball until about 10 or so. In the meantime, grabbing Teleport, keep leveling, get the Pro-Exits for Fireball, or excuse me, for Meteor, Fire Mastery, and Frozen Orb. So by level 33, which is about how many points you'll have at level 30, your build's going to look something like this. Basically, I've got Teleport. Sorry, I should have grabbed Static there, also level 6. I'm going to get that, obviously. But you've got your couple of one-pointers in Lightning. You've got a decent Fireball build going with enough damage for pretty much anything in normal difficulty. And then at level 30, you're going to start leveling Frozen Orb. And from here, you have a couple of choices. You can go straight Frozen Orb for the next 20 levels, or if you're having fun with Fireball, you could stick with Fireball instead. But it gives you a couple of choices when you hit that point. So if you're going Frozen Orb, you would level this until about 50, putting any spare points probably into Fireball. And then at 50, you could start pumping your fire skills. And that's Meteor right there. Okay, so back to the game. At this point, you just want to leave town. And for the first area, the Cold Plains, you generally just want to follow the path.
Evil beware.
You know, if you can pick up a little bit of experience along the way, a little bit of gold, it's useful. And a tip would be check out some of the cheat sheets online if you don't know the layouts for all these zones. Like, for example, in this area, stay on the path. You know, you may want to check some of those cheat sheets out online. I think I'll post one in the link below in the description. And what I normally do, usually I find the Den of Evil before I leave this zone. And generally what you're going to do if that happens is just drop a portal on the entrance to the Den of Evil, and you keep moving to the next area. And what I was saying earlier about always knowing the optimal paths for these zones, there's only so many layouts for each of these zones. So after a while you start to know, like, okay, the Durance of Hate, level 1 is always this way, level 2 is always that way. And people have figured out over time the optimal path for pretty much every zone in the game. There's a couple that, you know, there's not really a perfect way to go, but most of them there are. So there are a couple of items you want to keep an eye out for as you're leveling up. Specifically items that will work with sockets and runes. One is a 2-socket armor, so that you can do stealth, which is a level 17 rune word for armor that is really, really good for how easy it is to produce. Another is a 2-socket staff, especially any that have good sorceress abilities, especially if you're going to be playing Fire Sorceress. So you get the Leaf Staff. And there's a few other low-level rune words, I should say. So it's always a good idea to look for certain items. You know, the 2-socket armor, 2-socket weapon. You can build like lore with a 2-socket helm. That's probably going to be a little bit later in Act 3 or 4, maybe into Nightmare even.
Not enough mana.
You can run Countess also early on to get those runes in order to do that. Let's see. Stony Field. Should have grabbed that too. Those do stack also, so you can use multiple. If I would have found the burial grounds, I would have gone and killed her. You don't necessarily have to. You can always come back. And here's the tomb. I love listening to this.
So it came to pass that the Countess, who once bathed in the rejuvenating blood of 100 virgins.
Okay, that's enough. I love all the story stuff in this game.
I need mana.
And if you're killing fast enough, you could probably up the player difficulty. Anytime you see champion or named packs, you definitely want to take care of them. They give you a good amount of experience and might even drop, like, what is that, Saigons? And a rare belt. Man, I'm on a roll. And I have ventured off the path, but usually the underground passage is along the back wall here. It's built into the stone face wall. I don't think it can actually spawn anywhere else. Sometimes against this left wall too. Yep, there it is. Oh shit, forgot to put the portal back up. That almost cost me. Not talk to her.
Good day.
Jesus. Should have grabbed some antidote potions. That poison is wrecking me. That worked though.
The evil queen has fallen.
And now for the bug. Wait the 10 seconds or so for her portal to spawn. Go through. Don't interact or talk to anyone else. Go directly to him. Go east. Then when you leave and rejoin, the game should be bugged.
Good day.
It doesn't show it, but
Greetings.
if I go back, I should have rare drops again.
Not enough mana. I need mana.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot to do. This makes this fight a lot easier.
Good day.
And those do stack time-wise, not the amount of resistance it gives. And look at those drops. I definitely have a bugged drop, which is a good thing. And I get some boots,
I can't use this
which I
yet.
can't use yet. Oh, needed strength. Better than what I had. I don't know why I don't go to stick Arcane, but too late. Some late resist, a little bit more defense. Stick with these. Looking up resistance a little bit. See my fire, or my poison resist is so high because of the antidote potion.
Good evening.
Kill all the shamans first. Save yourself some headache.
Not enough mana.
Burn her down as much as possible with the static. And then hope you have some mana, because I don't.
Yes? Not here.
Greetings.
Hello again.
That's some decent gold. That's still a great item for that level. And now let's go kill her. Easy. And you notice good drops. That quest bug is very, very nice. So whenever you come to town, you want to keep an eye for certain items, certain specifically socketable items. One would be like a 2-socket helm, which is nice for things like lore, which is a decent plus skill helm. It's Ort and Soul needed. 2-socket armors, which there's not one here, but I've already found one. Also look for these as you're leveling, of course, but stealth is one of the best low-level items in the game. That is Tal and F. You want to run Countess probably a few times if you don't find these along the way, specifically because this makes it so much quicker between the run walk, the cast rate, the hit recovery, all that mana recovery. It's a great low-level item. You can actually, if you really need a socketable item, find a good spawn where you can run in and out of town, and this will constantly respawn. Beyond the armor and the helm, looking for like a 2-socket staff with good plus skills is useful. For Leaf, if you're going for Fire Sorceress. 4-socket swords and shields, though you're not going to find a 4-socket shield probably until Hell difficulty. For Spirit's a really good low-level caster item. That's Tal, Thul, Ort, and Am, all pretty low-level runes. let me think. Good 3-socket shield for Ancient Pledge, or even just socketing it with like diamonds for the resistance, and even like this helm. I'm probably gonna hold on to it maybe for lore later, but you could drop in some runes. For extra mana, there's runes that give you different protections. Uh, Definitely socketed helms are very nice. I love the look of the sewer. One of my favorite reimagined areas. Like, I love how they added actual, like, flowing water. It's a sewer. You would think they would have water.
I am overburdened.
And just the lighting and it all comes together really nicely here.
Not enough mana.
Gotta mention, I've been dealing with my parents' estate. They passed away, and it's been real difficult. But at the same time, every so often I come across like some childhood memento or something that makes me just happy. And I thought I had found like all of the pictures and video of my parents and family, which is pretty substantial. I've got like thousands of photos, but I didn't have a lot of video. But when I was over there this week working on the house, I found a video camera I hadn't realized was there, and on it was 65 videos of family get-togethers and stuff my dad had filmed. And then today I was going through boxes of stuff I'd brought over, and I found a bunch of VHS tapes that I'd forgot we had a VHS camcorder in like mid 90s, and my dad had taken a ton of videos of us at a beach that we used to rent a house on, and also at Epcot, and just videos I hadn't even known existed, like hours of video. And yeah, I spent a lot of time the last couple days going through that. It's kind of bittersweet. It's like makes me happy it's there, but it's hard to watch too. But just wanted to share something kind of nice.
What a misguided monster.
And that fireball is great for leveling. And this is why I think, if I can put up with a little bit of slowdown for like the first 10 levels or so, once you hit 12 and you get fireball, it's pretty smooth sailing with this build. So it's like kind of deciding, maybe I'll go like 7 into Firebolt to make that beginning a little bit easier,
Not enough
and then
mana.
transition to Firebolt at 12 and I'll have some extra synergy. And then shoot for Fireball to be at like level 12 or so by the time I'm... Oops, didn't mean to go down. Hitting level 30, and then from there I can decide to transition either to Frozen Orb. Hey, there's the waypoint. That's what I was looking for. Or stick with Fireball. I'm kind of debating. I know Frozen Orb is a really good skill throughout. I did not mean to click that. I meant to go down. Frozen Orb is a really good skill for Nightmare. Like, you just burn through everything. And then in Hell is where it becomes a little bit more problematic. So I'm kind of debating, do I want to, level Frozen Orb starting at 30, and then by 50 I'll have it maxed, and we'll transition back to Fireball. Or do I want Fireball and then, you know, you level Fireball and its synergies until probably 70, because you need 20 Fireball, 20 Meteor,
I need mana.
And even Firebolt before the end. It's like you're kind of tight on skill points.
Not enough mana.
I'm hitting my stride now that I've got Fireball. I really feel like it's so much quicker. If you get some thoughts on the Fireball versus, you know, going like the lightning route and respecking, let me know. Like, is it worth trying to save your respec, or just burn through it? You know, I'm gonna make more characters later anyways. Did I hit 17? I did hit 17. Woo woo. I do lose the 10 resistance and some armor, but I think it's worth it for all the other stuff. Especially because that should let me hit the next breakpoint, and if I can get either 10 or 12, I should hit, see, you see the light change there? That's goofy.
Not enough mana. I need mana. Not enough mana. Not enough mana. I can't carry anymore.
Even these champion guys, I'm one-shotting. I could probably up the difficulty at this point, but sometimes it's just trade-off. If I can one-shot things in player 1, but it takes 2 shots in, you know, player 2 or 3 or 5, it may not necessarily be worth it to switch. Like, it's a trade-off between efficiency and the extra experience. I juked that one. That's pretty smooth. Alright. Let's just do this, just in case, because I'm pretty far along. And this would be so much more difficult without a good AoE attack. Like having to single target these guys. Let's look at that. Could be a good base for Leaf, or not.
Who would have thought that such primitive beings could cause so much trouble?
Who would have thought that such assholes would cause so much trouble? Alright. So now... speak to the townsfolk. If I remember right, now I gotta go like the harem, right?
How may I help you?
Oh, wrong potion.
Need some help?
could almost use leaf if I found a good base for it. I should probably have been keeping a... But yeah, it's this guy over here, I think, who does the staffs.
Well, allow me to advise you.
The problem is, these weapons are mostly going to be very expensive. 37,000. I mean, I've got about enough for it. I need a 2-socket anyways. That's why while you're leveling up, it's very useful to keep an eye out for those kind of items. Is this the one where it's like in the middle? Yeah, there it is. And there's always a guy over here. Let's slow him down a little bit.
I am overburdened.
And then let's go kill the summoner.
This place.
I love how throughout this game you run into the heroes from the first game. Like, Bloodraven is the rogue from Diablo 1. Summoner is the sorceress, or was it the wizard in Diablo 1? And then, of course, the Dark Wanderer is the warrior from Diablo 1. I'm pretty sure they made that canon, if I remember right. If not, it's like pretty heavily implied. See, this is where I should have swapped back to the U-Wand, because I do break the lightning, I do hit the next lightning breakpoint. And the summoner has like very, very low health. It's not really worth trying to static shock him.
I need mana. I need mana. I need mana. I need mana.
I know I need mana, okay? Should probably pump up my mana. And one cool thing, I don't know if you've ever noticed this. So the crescent is the shape. And even if this quest didn't show you, the icons here, the one that's missing is always where the tomb is. So, yeah. And if I remember right, the crescent... I could be totally wrong on this point, but I feel like it's in the upper left. Hey. I didn't plan that.
I need mana. Not enough mana.
We're gonna see how well I can do against Duriel.
Burdened.
He's always the act boss that I think gives me the most trouble leveling up. He kind of like... He'll sometimes kill you before you have a chance to do anything. I totally didn't mean to right-click all those. I'm a doofus. There we go.
Not enough mana.
Okay, so you always want to drop a portal here because Duriel, basically, he sucks. And then we put the staff in the orifice. There's nothing. Wait, not in the cube, in the orifice. Like something out of Indiana Jones. See if I can make it hit me. And here we go. Got to queue up Frost Nova, Static. You know, I haven't been using that at all. Get positioning. He blew up my guy already. So close. I did it without dying. And that is getting through Act 1 and Act 2 relatively quick. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm a speedrunner by any means. And there are options to go a little quicker if you want to respec. You know, you can always try Lightning first, going Charge Bolt into Nova with Static. That's a really good early combo. I think this is an alternative. Start with Firebolt at 12, transition at level 30, either to Frozen Orb or continue through Fireball and Meteor. It's your call, but this is an alternative. I think this might be what I go with at live, but I'm going to continue playing around with the different builds. But for now, I hit level 19 running through Act 1 and Act 2, and I could proceed on to Act 3 once this game is out. Duriel looks cool. Alright everyone, so thanks for sticking with me. If you enjoyed this, I have a ton of other videos all about Diablo 2 Resurrected. I have a lot of non-Diablo related stuff, virtual reality, new games, retro games. If you like it, if you like what you're seeing, consider subscribing. I would much appreciate it. So thank you again, and have a good night.